Buenos días y bienvenidos a Barcelona. Or, as they say around these parts, bon dia y benvinguts a Barcelona. Yeah? Better? I don't know. Thank you very much. Either way, that's the only Spanish or Catalan I'm going to attempt in this because both of my languages are terrible. So good morning and welcome to PG, the very first PG Connects Barcelona. My name's Chris James. I'm the CEO of Steel Media, the company behind these PG Connects conferences, as well as leading media such as PocketGamer.com, PocketGamer.biz, PC Games Insider, Blockchain Gamer, and many other things, Mobile Games Awards, Top 50 Game Makers, Big Indie Pitch, etc., etc. For the last few years, we've also been part of a wider family, the Enthusiast Gaming family. That's a Canadian-listed business that does loads of different stuff. They run properties in the game space, like partnerships with sports leagues, like the NHL and NFL and FPL, esports teams like Luminosity, the leading PC games website Icy Veins, U.GG, which is a tool for for League of Legends other games, and the Sims Resource, which is a massive community for Sims fans, amongst many other things. Pretty much everything they do and pretty much everything we do is about connecting, celebrating, and supporting the games industry. Whatever platform you're making games on, wherever in the world you may be. And that's what we're going to try and do here on the next couple of days. It's sort of a birthday, not really. It's our 52nd PG Connects. We've been going for 11 years now. It's about 10 years there. And over the last 11 years, we've been to 12 cities, welcomed over 55,000 delegates from 70 countries and facilitated, or 70 plus countries, facilitated over 120,000 business meetings, which we've estimated impacted about $1.5 billion of deals. Of course, this is our very first time here in Barcelona. So yeah, this is number one. That is my boy there. Now, about this sort of time, I think a lesser host than myself this sort of time would probably use this opportunity to try and curry favor with the local audience by making some sort of stunt. But that's not the sort of style that I am. I won't be doing that. So I just want to say, yeah, welcome to Barcelona. There we go. Fantastic. Bit of love. That's good. Now I've got. So I am a fan. Yeah. So this is my boy. When he was he was obviously a baby back then. He's grown up quite a bit since then. In all honesty, though, this isn't just a stunt coming here or this to win affection. This is a real passion project for me and something a heartfelt activity that we really care about. Our HQ is in London. That's where I'm based. And we have a flagship event there. We also run, in our second city is Helsinki. We run events in the Middle East, in Dubai, in Jordan, in San Francisco. We're soon to be returning to Asia for Shanghai and Bangkok events. But Spain and Barcelona holds a special part in my heart, particularly. This is some family photos from years gone by. My wife was actually born in this city, and together we spent many years both in Barcelona and Girona. We've lived in Cadiz, we've lived in Malaga. We spent a lot of time in Madrid, Bilbao, Gijón, the Canary Islands, the Balearics, everywhere, really. Despite that, my Spanish is atrocious, so I do apologize. My son's is brilliant, mine's terrible. Obviously, I don't just get to launch events in places because I like them. So I am a Spanophile, sorry for it says. I am a committed Spanophile in general. I wear Spanish clothes. I'm the oldest living man in Desigual. And I even went so far as to supporting Spain in the Euros, at least until the final, which was, I was in Berlin when they sadly trounced England. But like I say, I don't get to just launch events because I like a place. Sadly, the Maldives and Seychelles editions of PocketGamer Connects have not yet materialized. We have to have a business case for being the place. There has to be real support. Unfortunately, Spain and Barcelona collectively have that in spades. We actually, years and years ago, we actually did some of our first events here around Mobile World Congress. This is the only surviving photo of one of our party evenings, which is probably for the best. As we outlined in our recent mini report, and has been done much better by local organizations and will be done much better on tracks today. The Spanish games industry is a rich ecosystem that's generated over 1.6 billion euros last year from 790 studios. And over half of that revenue, around 30% of the studios, are right here in the Barcelona area. And it's not hard to see why it's been so successful. There's a great mix of international businesses, local startups, a number of high-quality education institutions, and support from local other institutions such as Barcelona Partners and the local kind of government. And many of those people will be here today, hopefully talking about what they're doing. But this isn't just a Spanish show, or just a Barcelona show. Only around 30% of our attendees, less than a third, are from this area. Around 50% of the show is from Spain. And in total, we have 47 countries from 5 continents represented. So hopefully you'll connect with some of those guys, either with meetings or having a coffee or just seeing their game over the next couple of days. Hopefully most of them will be as upbeat as I am about the potential of the games industry, not just here, but in total. And that's what I want to talk about a little bit now. Because I believe we're at the verge of a new golden age for gaming. I say not just here, but globally. I'd like to run quickly through some of the reasons why I think that. To be honest, if you've been reading the press recently, you wouldn't have thought this was a golden age. It's been pretty grim for the last couple of years. We've had all sorts of reasons for that. IDFA's been awful for Apple. We've had, obviously, the end of COVID. People stopped playing games and came back and did other things. We had the wars and the impact on inflation, the investors departing the market, all sorts of negative issues. And to be honest, they've created problems. We've created real problems for many people and companies. I don't take this lightly. We've lost around 40,000 people, hopefully temporarily, from the games industry in the last couple of years. And that isn't good, which is one of the reasons we don't want to lose people from our games industry families. That's one of the reasons we have kind of created our career zone, which you can see supported by Sandsoft and with Games Factory Talents across the far side. And we create also a job seeker ticket to help people get back into the industry. Anyway, throughout last year, we were told we had to survive to 25 and things would get better. So in January this year, before our record-breaking London show, if you've not been to London, please do come. The weather's not as good, but it is a brilliant show. I decided to take the temperature of the industry and in a number of ways. So I spoke to some leading game makers at the start of the year and said how they were feeling. And the reaction was kind of varied. It went from broadly contented to slightly concerned. That was kind of the games developers' side. Suffice to say, it wasn't all positive. I also looked to the industry experts. And everybody does their start of the year predictions, and they gave us a lot of different insights. Here's just a few of them summarized. AI will change everyone's lives. It'll be the future of everything and ultimately disappoint. Subscription services are going to be everywhere, but run out of money. Grand Theft Auto 6 will sell tons, but also suck the oxygen out of the games industry for everyone else. And continued consolidation will be good news for big companies, but bad for the smaller ones. So generally, it was kind of slight optimism and positivity, but sort of tempered with a negative underline. We did our own, and I also did take some time out to read through Matthew Ball's extensive State of the Industry PowerPoint. Has anybody read Matthew Ball's PowerPoint? A few of you have there. So it's 221 slides. Most of the start of them tell us how bad things are and why our best years are behind them. It's not a great start for a book. To be fair, I didn't read all of the slides, but I got through quite a lot of them. We did also our own survey. And again, that kind of came with a similar sort of vibe. We kind of came up with our biggest, it was actually broadly positive, but we had our biggest ever neutral. So a lot of the games industry is neutral about the year. Of course, predictions are meant to be challenged and ideally made to look ridiculous. Whilst sort of minimal positivity is fine, people that know me know that I'm kind of a bit more positive, a bit more upbeat, and like to think a little bit bigger. I like to think of myself as the Ted Lasso of the games industry, in fact. So I'm going to tell you very quickly why I'm optimistic about this industry and why you should be too, and why it's the best time to be in the games business. Number one, the games industry is big. It's huge. It's worth anywhere between $178 to $200 billion last year. Newzoo, who are widely regarded to be the de facto keepers of the numbers, they actually downgraded all of their annual reports for the last sort of decade or so last year. So they got it down to 178 billion as opposed to 188 before. And it's actually PC and console that shrunk most. Mobile went up a little bit. Other reports give us different numbers. If you're trying to raise money, I recommend you use Statista's data. They reckon the industry is worth about 500 billion. I don't think it is, but again, handy if you want to raise money. Regardless of how big the industry is, though, there's no dispute we are the number one media category in the world. Other industries, everybody wants a piece of us, whether it's kind of TV, music, newspapers, anything. Everyone's queuing up to get a piece of the game's pie. And They use our technology for producing programs like The Mandalorian. They use our IP, of course. And it's not just games, it's kind of games adjacent activity, like esports, I guess, and also YouTube and Twitch. There's over 50 billion minutes was spent in the last 12 minutes on games-related content on YouTube, and 15.6 billion hours on Twitch. So it's billions of kind of hours a month are spent on games-related content. And of course, as I say, some of our biggest games have been made into TV shows and movies, which provide great positive feedback loops. Sonic 3 just came out this summer. It's the biggest in the Sonic series. That's actually getting bigger each time from Sega. Minecraft, that got to about almost 500 million. Minecraft's kind of powered past that. That's approaching $1 billion at the moment, although slightly behind Super Mario, which is 1.3 billion last year. And we have more coming out. We have Angry Birds 3 coming. We've got Margot Robbie making The Sims. And there's a Zelda thing, there's Mortal Kombat, there's about 40 other projects in development. Another key thing, not only are we a big market, we are growing. For 25 years, apart from the post-COVID wobble, we have been growing steadily since the mid-80s. And that is kind of huge. And the prediction is that we're going to continue to grow again. Despite that little wobble you can see there, Newzoo again forecasting $186 billion of value this year, up towards $200 billion by 2027. And our player base is still growing, which is the important thing. We have over 3.4 billion players, and that's expected to grow further in the coming years as well. And crucially, for people making free-to-play games, the payers are also growing at a similar rate. So it's not just players, it's also payers. And of course, we're a global market. It's a surprise to some people, but China was actually, according again to Newzoo, which is the kind of keeper of data, was marginally the biggest market last year, just slightly ahead of the US, and the Middle East and LATAM were the second, sort of the fastest growing markets. We're doing an event in China, I'll talk about it in a minute, and we do events in the Middle East, so they're quite interesting markets to explore. Another key reason to be positive is investors. Investors are reconnecting slowly. They kind of like lost their checkbooks for a little while, but they are coming back. If you're looking for data, there's this great company called Drakestar. They're kind of like Newzoo of investment. And they just, on all their metrics, 2024 was up, and 2025 is looking pretty rosy. I won't speak for all these data points. Suffice to say, it's been a very busy start to the year. We had Niantic games being picked up by Savvy, Scopely and Savvy for $3.5 billion. Triple Dot spent about $1 billion on AppLovin's game portfolio. And there's been knock-on effects from that as well, like the ex-Triple Dot president raised $100 million Arcadia Gaming Fund, Tilting Point of $150 million UA fund, loads of new funds starting up, and investment is kind of happening once again. I've got loads of examples here. The biggest one, though, is Dream Games, who are raising $3.5 billion right now, which is incredible. So yeah, there's lots more data here. So do check that out. If you're interested in investment, you're looking to raise money, you want to go it's on, check out Drakestar's quarterly reports. They also crucially point out who's investing, which is quite useful data to have if you're trying to raise. And they conclude with showing the public markets. Because obviously, if the listed companies do better, they have money to invest. Other investors want to have their companies float. So generally, despite the crazy stock market under Trump, it is generally kind of trending upwards for games. But crucially, the things that really get me excited are the kind of growth engines, is what Matthew Ball calls them. Right now, there is a distribution revolution going on, in mobile particularly. The App Store duopoly that Apple and Google kind of drove the industry and controlled the industry, that is kind of getting broken up. And nothing against either of those companies, did an awful lot of work for the industry, but that is really happening. And it's really good news for developers. It means more money, more control. We'll be covering that in at least 3 of our tracks, that sort of thing, how you can take advantage of that. So we can see lots of app stores happening. There's the Epic Games launcher app store. We already had AppToy, we had Samsung with App Store. We've also got Microsoft coming to that space as well. Even kind of more faster proliferating than the app stores are the web stores. So we've got loads of web shops here, people like Xsolla, FastSpring, AppCharge, all helping you get your customer direct and earn more money. And all these things took a huge stride forward last month with the US District Court found against Apple. This is crazy, but it was not crazy that it happened, but it is huge news. So right now in the US, Apple can't stop you linking off. They've got a facilitator. They can't take fees that they were before on other stores. So And that legislation is expected to come to the EU at some point soon. It's not confirmed, but that will happen, I think, globally sooner rather than later. There will be more legal shenanigans, but it is huge, huge news. Alongside that kind of trend is this whole gaming everywhere trend. Everything has become a games platform. Telegram, WeChat Mini, Discord, even the New York Times. And together with the HTML5 browser technology and cloud streaming, games are everywhere. Like Samsung are pushing games through their TVs, they're pushing onto mobiles. Xbox kind of Games Pass has now gone beyond just the Xbox to be kind of a more ubiquitous service. And that's driving real massive numbers. Like in WeChat alone drove 2.5 billion of revenue in the first half of last year. Of course, beyond that, there's more tech to adopt. We've got VR, XR, MR, whatever you like to call it. That is, the headsets are getting smaller, and the adoption, I think, will at some point will flip. We'll go from these to these, I think. We've also got a new console coming. I don't know if is it today? It's this week. Is it today? 2 days. So the Switch 2 is launching this week, so that's good news for Nintendo first, but hopefully third parties. And obviously you've still got in the background the kind of metaverse and the Web3 technology, which is starting to show some promise. I'll keep going. And of course you can't talk about trends without mentioning AI. AI is going to be everything. AI is being involved in every part of the games industry, from ideation, design, and marketing to UA, QA, and economy testing. At some point, the belief is you'll be able to create whole new games experiences personalized to every player. We're not there yet, but this is hopefully where we get to. Basically, if you're not using AI now, you're probably a little bit behind the trend. So do check out our 2 AI tracks to learn what's going on. Flip side again, I mentioned before the job losses. The good side about that is there's loads of great talent to join your studio or an enterprise if you're looking just right now. And again, we've got our career zone in the corner, so go and check that out if you are looking to hire or looking to be hired. And there's plenty more reasons to be cheerful. Smart monetization and advertising models are providing new revenue streams. Rewarded UA and rewarded play is particularly interesting. There's still this massive brand advertising opportunity that hasn't quite happened yet. Global government support is the greatest I've ever seen in my time in the industry, and lots of governments really engaging. UGC is going insane at the moment. Roblox have paid out $1 billion to creators last year, a 31% increase year on year, and they just hit like 12 million concurrent players for one of their new games. Even Grand Theft Auto being delayed, if you're a PC console space, that's good news for this year because it means there's space to have a hit there. And I'm not the only person saying this. Again, Matthew Ball, right at the end, skipped to the end of his presentation. He talks about the new growth engines that could deliver this golden age. We've got even kind of curmudgeonly industry experts like Eric Suffert saying this could be the morning of the mobile gaming. There's big opportunities there. And generally, I do think the future is bright right now, but it's going to be brighter. Every successive generation is more engaged than the last in terms of gaming. You don't have to take my word for it. These crazy numbers. Scopely made 4 or 5 billion in the fastest anyone ever has. Dream Games is raising 2.5 billion. Supercell, its biggest year ever. And it's not just the big guys. You've got Habi, you've got Belatro, you have the recently Sandful Interactive's Clara Obscura Expedition 33 did crazy numbers. So there's good opportunities for everybody right now. So that is why I think this is the best year to be in gaming. And we're going to help you make the most of it. We've got 17 conference tracks. I've mentioned some of them in that presentation to explore, so make the most of that and hopefully get some tips. If you miss any videos, I've got the video vault will come out about 2-3 weeks after the show, so you can't see everything because there's 2 tracks. You can see those if something you particularly want to see, check that out. And there's a schedule if you want to plan your trip. So go online, plan what you want to see. Go to the schedule online. The schedule also syncs with Meet to Match. If you haven't been in Meet to Match already, please do. That's kind of supposed to be the business heart of the show. It's where you make meetings and organise, hopefully, some constructive meetings with your time. It also syncs with the calendar. And please just go in and tell people if you're not able to meet them, because there'll be meeting requests for you. There's obviously plenty of show to explore. There's the 2 tracks. There's the Indie Expo in the middle. There's Wider Expo there. So check that out. We have loads of fringe events going on as well. Investor Connect is starting this morning. Then it's Big Indie Pitch Mobile this afternoon. Big Indie Pitch PC Console tomorrow. And then the Publisher Speed Match. Now, most of those are already kind of sorted. You should know if you're in them. But if not, there could be walk-ins, certainly for the Big Indie Pitches. So do ask about that if you're interested. And then it doesn't end. The networking, the business doesn't end at the end of the day. We've got a happy hour with Innovex Games in the tea and coffee hour from 5, and the VRP drinks reception shortly after from 5:30. We've got the official PG party with Stash from 7, and a wrap-up mixer tomorrow night in the Skyfall bar, very, very James Bond. That's top floor of this hotel. So you'll get plenty of promotion about that. If you need help, there's a great website, there's a great email, and you can also talk to front desk. If you want to share this or argue with someone online, you can go to X, #PG Connects. Wi-Fi, you've already got, I'm sure, because it's on your badge. And I need to say a few thank yous, and I'll be out your hair. So we can get a quick round of applause for our sponsors, please. A big thank you for our platinum sponsor, Fast Spring. Can we have a round of applause? For our gold sponsors, Epic, Raptor, Zoya, Topolti, and Cloudflare, Almedia, and WeHarp, our silver sponsors. Also to our bronze sponsors, and to our track sponsors and associate sponsors. Without all those guys, this thing couldn't happen. I do also need to do a shout out to our media partners, especially the local ones, the kind of DevCat Barcelona, BCN Games Fest. Barcelona partners have been and Game BCN have been very supportive. And to our incredible speakers. There's a little profile of each one on the site. And of course, the Steel Media team that does all the real work. So if you like this is the final bit, then we have more of this. We're going to be in Shanghai for our first trip to Asia for a while, just before China Joy. It's a good gateway to China Joy at the end of July. Then we're back in games alongside Gamescom for our Mobile Games Awards and a party on my birthday. Gifts are available. And then we have our Helsinki second biggest event on the 7th, 8th of October. Then another trip to Asia. We're doing an event in Bangkok, which we'll be announcing shortly on the 15th of October. And then we're in Jordan, in Aqaba this year, in the Middle East. And then finally back to London, our home event in 19th and 20th January next year. And I hope to see some of you there.